On today's expose, we are talking about abscissa, right? That's how you say it. Abscissa.
Abscissa.
So cute.
Yeah.
Abscissa. And this is a very kind of deep cut character. So abscissa. And abscissa was bound, and I'm just going to read what you sent to me because I don't want to research it. Let me just go back. She first appeared in Wolverine 2, number 52 in March 1992. Is that her only appearance?
I don't know. I forgot all about this character too. I don't even remember her from the comics. She was very brief. She may have been in a few, but I don't know.
Right. But she is from the Mojoverse-ish area. She was bound in an iron-like armor covered with spikes. A chain was attached to her mask, and in which Mojo would lead her around like a slave evil. And Abscissa would whip the chain into loops to bind others. Like kinkiness. Oh my goodness. And yeah, well, let me tell you that this is a Jubilee version of Jubilee. Same person, or not? I don't know. I'm not really sure if she's I don't know. What's a Jubilee version of her? And this was a Jubilee that was captured by Mojo, and became an old lady. And we talk about the big crunch. I don't know what that big crunch is. Destruction, probably. And then, yeah. So tell me more. I don't know.
Yeah, so it looks like she appeared in Wolverine 2, number 52 and 53. So I think those might be the only ones. But yeah, she basically made a deal with Mojo to kind of like save the universe. Like, I'll be your slave, leave everybody else alone. What's really kind of sad about her is she's like the slave for her whole life. But then in the past, there's a version of Jubilee who doesn't take the deal. So when she doesn't take the deal, it basically wipes out Abscissa. So she sacrificed her whole life for nothing because she's eventually just gone. Wow. She's just rewritten, kind of. So yeah, she's like the worst case scenario for Jubilee. So some people are saying they kind of like the way she is portrayed in this episode we're about to talk about because we get kind of a happier version of Abscissa.
I go where I want to go. Jean.
Scott.
Jean?
Scott! I summon the Arctic winds!
No more mutants!
I summon the Arctic winds!
No more mutants!
I summon the Arctic winds!
No more mutants! There's always more gators in the bayou.
Don't get a boomer!
Welcome to this week's Solving for X. My name is Shawn. I'm the ultimate excavationist.
And I'm something of an X-fan myself, Kevin. Wow. We're back to 97.
Right, so, yeah, we are.
The show.
And this week we are talking about Motendo and Lifedeath Part 1. But before we get there, Kevin, WonderCon was last weekend.
I wonder what happened at WonderCon. Yes.
Tell us about it.
I was there all 3 days. The first day, I was on a panel, and first I wore my sexy underwear Spider-Man underoos from the PS4 game, and people were afraid to talk to me, but apparently everybody was talking about me. I found that out later. And then I put on my Bider-Man, and I did a panel about gay geeks and where to find them, and I talked about all the things that we do. Saturday, I wore my Cyclops, my full Cyclops garb, and it was quite the hit. I went to a X-Men 97 panel with a bunch of the voice actors. I talked to Guy directly, the voice of Sunspot. And I saw JP. I saw what's his face, Matthew Waterston. I forget his name. Who plays Magneto, and he's British. I did not know he was British. He's a sexy British man, very tall. We had Holly, who is Jubilee. We had Lenore, who is Rogue. We had Guy, Sunspot, and we had, who else am I missing? I feel like I'm missing somebody. Oh, Gambit was there. AJ.
Oh,
and he was
in his shirt.
In his shirt. Although it was not, people keep saying it was the crop top. It was not a crop top. It was a full shirt, just sleeveless. So he did not wear the full version. And it was a really fun little panel hosted by Chris and Chandler. And then Sunday.
I met over WonderCon weekend. Yeah, so I got there Sunday. Kevin showed me around and introduced me to Miss Amanda Martini, Chris, Riley, and I'm just
Chandler.
Right now, Dylan. Yeah, Chandler, Dylan. Yeah, I also met Elaine, who we should have on the podcast soon. Elaine. None of the above.
You're probably listening to this and be like, oh, idiots.
Yeah. I know. I'm sorry, Elaine. I will not forget again, my friend. My Nightcrawler friend. So yeah, it was very exciting. Kevin had a chance to take me by Lenore Zan's table, and we got to talk to Lenore. My biggest highlight is I had literally just walked into the whole thing with Alan. We basically walked through one row of Artist Alley. We turned the corner and literally walked right into Julia and Eric Lewald. So I froze up. I was like, Alan, that's Eric and Julia Lewald. And so I stopped and talked to them. I gave them one of our flyers. Eric said that he loves the name of our podcast.
I love that.
Math nerd. So yeah, I just had a lovely little conversation with them. They gave me a previously on pin and a previously on sticker for my badge. And then later, Kevin came with us to a panel where we saw the Lewalds. We saw a few other writers and a guy who owns a gym.
Yeah, a guy who owned a nerdy LA gym.
Superhero gym.
Who's also a very big fan of Cyclops. And I was like, yes, thank you. Well, I'll have you know, too, that at the X-Men panel the day before, there were some other Cyclops cosplayers, and they're like, see, everyone's worried about Cyclops now, but I was always about it. I'm like, I was too. So we were out there. We were all out there, just hidden in the shadows.
Yep. And by the way, since we're doing this on video, I'm going to show this off. I also just bought some other X-Men gear. I'm so excited because Disney, you don't fucking have it. Where's my X-Men gear, Disney? You have 2 fucking pins. That's it. I had to go to Hot Topic and Box Lunch.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Hot Topic, the travesty.
All right, shall we get into today's episode?
The episode
Silence?
Silent. It's an episode with 2 stories, which is kind of fun. I don't think the original series did this, but this is a very typical cartoon way of storytelling.
Trope.
So, yeah, trope.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So
I know, it was different.
Yeah.
Well, for X-Men. Yeah, you're right. We have seen this a lot on other shows.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So last week we asked, when do you think Maddie and Jean got swapped? So 7% said after X-Men 92, which after reading the comic, I don't know. Because the comic starts off with Jean being pregnant. So there'd be only 2 months that she could have been swapped, but it could have happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before X-Men 92 got 8%. Yeah, nobody believes that because Jean's been there the whole time.
Right.
Remind me, I'm going to tell you about somebody's theory. I forget who, but it's very interesting.
Okay.
After the Phoenix Saga got 31% of the votes. During Beyond Good and Evil got 54% of the votes. Somebody even wrote in and said, well, yeah, that's when Sinister literally captured Jean. So it makes the most sense. So
yeah.
One of the things I came across, I wish I remembered to know where it came from so I could credit them. But I saw this whole theory that in seasons 1 through 4, Jean wears her hair in a ponytail, but in season 5 she does not. So they think that's evidence that that's Maddie, because Maddie does not wear her hair in a ponytail. And the minute Jean starts to remember in the third episode,
she's
Fire Made
she's
Flesh.
like, I'm gonna put my hair in a ponytail.
Yep, she puts it back in a ponytail.
But then think about the opening credits for this episode.
Right.
Which we'll talk about.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So this episode is Motendo / Lifedeath Part 1. This aired April 3rd, 2024. Story by Bo DeMaio and directed by Chase Conley.
Okay, so I guess let's talk
away,
before we get to scene 1, let's talk about those opening credits. How about we do that?
All right, tell me.
Because the first 3 episodes, Jean was shown, she had her hair down. And this opening credits, Jean has a ponytail when she's introduced.
That's true. It was exactly the same as the old show when she had the ponytail.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
And then the first 3, it was no ponytail. So it changed this episode 4.
Wow, so that leads credence to what we just discovered.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So
this show has so many little Easter eggs just to like grasp at.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
It's fun to just, try to catch them, try to interpret them. I mean, I keep thinking about these things, like these theories, like these could possibly be so many different things. So, and
what's funny is it's probably like a happy accident or like an issue with the animation studio that made her have her hair down in the season 5, but it's fun to think that that could be the reason for Maddie now.
Right. And we did have more different scenes in this opening credits. I forget what they all were. I probably should have marked them, but they had like a long shot one, a Mojo Vision one.
Yeah, long shot in Jubilee fighting Mojo.
Mm-hmm. There's one with Professor Xavier and Emma Frost in like the Hellfire Club, like invading his mind, which makes me wonder, like, what does that have to do with this episode? What, these little these little clues that they're throwing in there, like, what does this mean?
I know, because we're rumored to get Emma soon, so I wonder if that means anything.
Mm-hmm. So, and I have theories about like Bishop, because he talked about how like time changes, it goes forward, a little back, and everything kind of, you never know how it's going to go because of how coming back in time already changes things in the future. So my future is not necessarily what's going to happen now, and that type of stuff. So it's almost like the timeline was altered just because of the future past differences. And and that goes to think about the Jean thing and this Jubilee thing. It's like, wait, what if that Jubilee is the one from our 90s timeline of the past, and it just kind of switched up things, It's
and that's what I'm obsessed with is Bishop went back to the future, but we never saw him get there, and we know the future can change easily. So what future did he go to?
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Yeah, and it's interesting how, like, for example, Lifedeath Part 1, and then we have another episode, and then Lifedeath Part 2. So things don't necessarily wrap up in the next episode. So we may not know where Bishop went until like the end of the season.
And he was not in the opening credits as a,
Yep.
So, all right, let's get started. But things to think about.
All right.
So, coffee, giver of life and energy. Gambit sits down with Rogue and Ito for coffee, and he's wearing his crop top again. Must be his morning routine, his pajamas.
I don't care what it is. He can wear whatever the fuck he wants.
And that was so popular at the convention scene. It's so popular right now. Oh my goodness. All the art that's made from it. Rock and roll. Okay. A measure of dicks. Silent war is waged for the love of Rogue. Nito wins with some sugar. 3 spoonfuls of sugar makes the medicine go down. And
that's a lot of sugar.
Yeah, right. Ooh, too sweet for me. All right. Beast, Morph, and Logan are at the table too. And Logan is wearing his yellow flannel without the jacket, so that's different. It's Jubilee's birthday, and Beast says, "I think she deserves some jubilation or whatever jubilation is." Or I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. I see what you did there, Beast.
Yes, the team wants to celebrate. Magneto wants to train rather than celebrate. It's like trivial. Stupid children do not need birthday parties. Blah. In comes 18-year-old Jubes. Rogue asks her how she wants to celebrate. Jubes wants to go to the arcade. Nito don't like it. It's like, ugh, children. Ugh.
In her room, alone with a boy, Jubes mocks Magneto for not wanting to go to the arcade. She complains to Berto about not being able to let loose on her birthday, which, by the way, something else I found at the con. Fig pins. I got the Berto and I got Morph, and Alan got the Jubilee. They're beautiful pins. I love them. They're on display in our house. Yes. I love X-Men so much.
Those are great. They're really pretty.
Yeah, they're pretty. We find out Cyclops and Jean are at the UN celebrating Genosha, which, interestingly enough, is the basis of this episode. But anyway, Berto makes fun of Jubes for playing video games. They both notice a suspiciously Sega-looking Motendo with a certain familiar video game in it. Wait a minute. Is this our first You Look Familiar? Because this game cartridge is exactly X-Men Mutant Apocalypse from the SNES.
Luke.
Familiar.
Familiar.
If you think that's bad, you should hear me sing.
Actually, it's not quite exactly. It's actually
not quite exactly.
It's mixing two different game covers. So it's mixing
like the Sega one, right?
Yeah, so it's mixing the Sega Genesis game, X-Men, and the X-Men Apocalypse SNES game together. It's taking the big Apocalypse like face in the background mixed with the X-Men on the front of each game, and they put them together in one.
I love this so much because I think Mutant Apocalypse is one of my probably top 10 favorite games of all time. It's so much fun. Except for Magneto, so fucking hard to beat in that. And I do love the Sega one too. I just was watching like a top 10 X-Men games YouTube video yesterday, and those both were on it. So I was excited that I just so happened to come across that the day before Motendo.
Yeah, so it combined both games, which is nice of them. But the system looked more SNES. It looked very SNES to me.
Yeah, to me it was very SNES, but also very Sega, because SNES never had the cartridge you put in the top. Or yes, it did. It did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It looked very mixed between the two of them to me.
Yeah, I think the cartridge itself looked more Sega, actually, because that was more rounded, because the SNES was more very square. But it's weird getting way too in depth into this, but we lived at that time. We know. Whippersnappers who are listening.
Wait a minute.
You got 90s moments.
Okay, Jubes assumes the Motendo is a surprise from Rogue. She turns it on. The game Jumanji's Jubilee and Berto by way of metal tentacles.
It's totally the Jumanjis of the current Jumanjis.
Yeah. And there is a cameo of a long shot doll.
Yeah.
Come out, wherever you are.
Don't worry about us, Dingo. We'll make sure we can.
Cameo.
It's so cute.
I bet you she had it in her room because she had a crush on him.
I'll bet you it's moist because she fucks it at night.
Maybe. All right. Scene 3. Berto and Jubilee wake up in Jubes' room. Everything is fine. It's fine. The two assume they fell asleep playing Motendo, which, by the way, totally Nintendo. It's like Nintendo. That's what it's made of. And I love it. 90s moments. Okay. Anyway, just then, a sentinel attacks. The two are suddenly in downtown New York being chased by a sentinel. Jubilee urges Berto to use his power, but he is afraid of his parents seeing if they're on TV. I don't know why he would think they're on TV, but apparently he does.
Yeah.
They come across a ringing phone booth. Berto picks up and they matrix away.
Don't have a man.
You got mail.
90s moments.
90s moment.
You know, double 90s moment, because when they were first attacked by those tentacles, it made the dial-up sound, you know?
That's funny.
So we had that and now this phone booth. So
Nice.
loading. Wait.
Oh.
Did we get to this?
Oh.
Is this the part where, hold on. Did we get to the part where it had the cameo moment?
What cameo moment?
In the background, there was like a Days of Future Past background of cover.
Oh, the poster with the like deceased on it.
Was that now or is that later?
I think it's now.
Yeah, I think so
it
too.
was in this desolate area.
Yeah. So you had to put that cameo
It
in
was
there.
either now or when they get into the video game. One of the two.
Well, they are in the video game.
Yeah, I mean the 16-bit video game part.
No, it's now. Yeah, it's not. It's not in the 16-bit.
It's now? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Loading. Berto and Jubilee appear in Genosha, but way back Genosha when mutants were enslaved here. Berto's collar is shot. Guards start chasing the two friends. Suddenly, the guards glitch. Abscissa appears at the other end of the bridge. Jubilee tries to go to Abscissa, but there is an invisible wall blocking her. Suddenly, Mojo appears in the sky above them. Apparently, Mojo has lost a lot of weight from low ratings. He's turned to video games for new ratings. Every level in the video game is based on Jubes' memories. Mojo reveals he wants a Motendo in every home to absorb energy from the player. Mojo tells them if they die in the game, they die in real life. So, I think everybody listening to this who is attracted to men needs to go look up the picture of David Arago Jr., who does the voice of Mojo.
I just did.
Why is this man so attractive? Who voices such an ugly person?
He's so sexy. And he voices Plucky Duck and Hampton J. Pig in Tiny Toons University.
Yep. I saw that. I didn't even know that was out. I need to watch that.
I remember it came out and I forgot to. But yeah. Yeah, super sexy. But I have to say also, fuck Mojo. This fucker stole my Charmed musical plot over here.
He did. I didn't even think about that.
Like, oh my God, stop it.
I mean, it's not a musical, though. It's just going through video games. But yeah, same idea.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, fine.
Right, I see. Yeah. Well, now you know how I feel when Harry Potter went the direction that I was planning my book to go. I was like, shit, everybody's going to think I stole from Harry Potter.
Right. So even though I wrote my musical first before this came out, it's come out after, and now people are going to think I copied this episode. But it's different.
Yeah.
It's different enough. It's fine. But still.
It's crazy, though, because I was madly trying to find my Rainbow Bright bag that I bought yesterday at Hot Topic online. All that to say, there's so much merch coming out from this episode. Like, there's a shirt that has the different 16-bit character image on it. There's the image of Magneto, like, over the crowd. There's so much merch coming out for Motendo. Because it's so great.
Yeah.
Who's not going to love this?
I mean, this is the quintessential 90s episode. For reals.
Yeah. And we do have a cameo, which, I mean, these are the same characters that were at Genosha that we already cameoed, but Blob, Warpath, Sunfire, Boba Fett, and Domino are all featured
Boba
here.
Fett?
I thought the guards looked so much like Boba Fett.
I'm like, when are they in X-Men?
I thought I'd throw it in to see if you noticed, and you did.
All right. Mojo offers Jubilee the chance to stay in the video game and relive her glory days without ever having to grow up. Neverland. I'm never growing up. No, okay. Anyway. Cut to X-Men. The Rise of Jubilee. It's basically the X-Men arcade game. Yes, the Konami game. They totally they take levels like inspired, like copy for copy almost. It's amazing. I love it so much. And the whole like Sunfire like gasp thing is like, oh, it's so good. The crowds watch as Jubilee. Sorry, I said Sunfire. I meant Sunspot. Sorry. The crowds watch as Jubilee and Berto fight their way through. Mojo regains his physique. Sauron deals Jubilee a deathly hit, but it's cool. Absissa appears and restores her health. Did you do that, Berto? No, it wasn't me. Spyro works behind the scenes to catch Absissa.
So this infuriates me, and I think I said this on Marvelous Galaxy of Disney. The Konami arcade game is still to this day so popular. Go into any arcade, there's going to be somebody playing it. They did release it for PSN, PlayStation Network, but they need to remake this game. And this is exactly how I pitched it needs to be remade with, like, you need to be able to play Magic. You need to be able to play, like, Emma Frost. They need to make it less like arcade that wants to kill you as quick as possible and take all your quarters and, like, adapt it to something you could play at home.
Right.
But why has this game not been released and updated?
See?
People would pay. Our generation alone would, like, pay for this.
I mean, think of all the times they've redone Turtles in Time. Like... I mean, that's a classic game, but it's done in so many different versions. There's the arcade version, there's that home version, that so. And there's the Power Ranger game too. All these games at the time are so good.
I know. I really want to go back and play the Genesis like X-Men games, but like you'd have to emulate them, and I don't know. Maybe one day. I don't know.
I have my Super Nintendo.
All right, but. Oh, stop it.
I do
Stop it.
I have that and my N64.
I have Mutant Apocalypse. I put a copy of it onto my like SNES Lite so I could play that anytime with the SNES controller.
Oh, see, very nice.
Yeah. All right. Berto and Jubilee appear in a new video game. As they walk, Berto talks about fucking hating mutants to his mom in order to faking hating mutants to his mom in order to hide that he is one. Berto tells Jubilee she has to grow up sometime, otherwise reality will hit her right in the face. I kind of like find this like pot kettle black because like Berto's hiding who he is from his parents, but yet he's like telling Jubilee she needs to grow up.
Well, I think
fuck you, Berto.
And I think too, like he's talking about this memory like at the time, so he would have been younger. How old were you? Oh, I bet you would have been Jubilee's age, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So they would have had his powers by then. Okay.
Yeah, and it seems like what I got from the story is it sounded like his mom was kind of, I think she might know he's a mutant, and she was kind of trying to be like, it's okay, without saying like, are you a mutant? But he just shut it down and was like, fuck mutants, I hate mutants, because he's afraid of what his parents
those freaks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's kind of the same, like, with coming out when you're gay. Like, my parents already knew before I had to come out. They just didn't want to believe it.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you blame it on the others, the outside of you.
Yep. Suddenly, Berto is hit right in the face by Magneto's metal force bubble. He is dangerously close to dying. Permanently! Jubilee is left alone to fight video game boss battle Magneto. She figures out his pattern and easily dispatches Nito. Crowds cheer for her total victory. As Jubilee watches Berto dying, an extra life shows up. She gives it to Berto. My only complaint right here, what would have made this fucking perfect is if Magneto said, "Welcome to die."
Just like the game, I know. Yeah.
Just like the arcade, yeah. Because that's what it was emulating. That's what it gave me.
I mean, it's totally fully intended to be that, yes. So
yeah.
All right. Jubilee admits to Berto she messed up by going into the game. But she's excited. She beat Magneto. She's like, look what I can do. Just then, Magneto respawns. A portal opens behind Berto and Jubilee, and a huge hand rips them out of the video game into a Zeroverse. Ooh, that word, Zeroverse.
Yeah, I just made that up. But
Okay.
That's what we're calling it.
A neutral plane.
No, it's a Zeroverse.
Okay, Zeroverse. Okay, whatever. All right. Abscissa reveals she is a future form of Jubilee. Jubilee, look at my gray hairs. a digital replica of sorts used to beta test the game. And that is very Kingdom Hearts of them. It's like when they go into the datascape of the journal in Kingdom Hearts, what is it, Recoded? Yeah. So very much that. Anyway, she developed cheat codes and has been surviving ever since, which very much excites Jubilee because she's all about the cheat codes. She's like, I know you want to like know what's going to happen and cheat the game, but life isn't like that. She gave this beautiful speech. Our sister urges Jubilee to push herself to grow up. Jubilee admits Magneto was right. That phrase, Magneto was right. How funny. Okay.
How funny. And in case anybody didn't know, Abscissa is voiced by Allison Court, the original voice of Jubilee. How fun.
Super fun. Super fun.
So I guess I'll talk about it later. We'll save it for the end. We'll talk about it later. All right. Abscissa vows to help Jubilee escape the game. Just then, Mojo comes out of the X-Men arcade game and attacks. And it's literally like the X-Men arcade console that he comes out of the screen. So they're just sucking our dicks at this point to make sure it's maximum enjoyment.
Exactly.
Abscissa teaches Jubilee new ways to use her powers. This is so badass. She does kind of the Cyclops thing where she blasts and it causes her to move. Yeah. She has like fireworks on her feet, like skates.
And then she spins these, like make these, so they make blinds. Like it's almost like she makes a blade out of her fireworks that slices through stuff.
That's so cool.
So cool. The inventive use of the powers in the show is pretty great.
Yeah, and this is cool because it's like making Jubilee more interesting. She's not just like pew 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 pew. She's like pew pew blast pew.
I'm like, yeah, I can mold these fireworks to all kinds of things. You know, look at my potential. Even Sunspot even kind of activated his powers in this moment too, which is fun. He just kind of
it was fun.
Did his arm.
Abscissa rips Mojo apart until she's hit. Berto uses his power to take out Mojo's tail gun. Jubilee and Abscissa combine their powers to easily dispatch Mojo. Abscissa disappears, and Jubilee and Berto appear back in her room. Jubilee kisses Berto. It's a sexy kiss. There's definitely fireworks. Get it? You get it?
Yeah. I have to say though, I think this is crazy because she has her last time she was in the Mojoverse or like whatever Face Mojo, she developed the romantic feelings for Longshot, and now she's developing the romantic feelings for Sunspot. So
what you're saying is Mojo really gets Jubilee's, her blood pumping. It really does something for her.
Yeah. I think it's just taking her love of video games as her past love of video games and turns it into a new like past love of boys, it's coming of age, if you will, So
yeah. And before we go on to Lifedeath, what I find really interesting here is we have this very literal view of Abscissa is all about the cheat codes. So it's very much a parallel to Jubilee, like cheating life and using shortcuts to not have to grow up. So Abscissa is literally the video game obsessed Jubilee that's refusing to grow up and just a kid forever.
Right.
So I love this plur.
And that's it's cool that she's the one that gives Jubilee the speech because don't end up like me. Like this, there's so much more out there if you let yourself experience it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I really like this messaging because nobody's telling Jubilee she can't play video games or that she has to leave behind her, childish ways. Because, you and me are adult men talking about X-Men right now, and we love video games and we love our stuff, but we also know how to deal with life and like live on our own and be adults when we have to be. Mm-hmm. So I love this. I love that it's blurred with this video game world with Mojo. It's brilliant.
Absolutely. All right. Cool. So second half.
All right. Lifedeath Part 1.
In the desert, an owl soars through the skies. Forge brings in dinner for Storm. It's bison chili made by Forge because I'm the most terrific chili maker ever. Storm asks Forge.
And I'm not hiding anything.
No. Storm asks Forge how his power works. Forge tells her he can access parts of his brain regular humans can't. Storm tells Forge she misses her powers. Forge offers for the two of them to go on a horseback ride. Come with me.
So I do like that they explain Forge's power because I think people have had questions about that, like how is making stuff a mutant power? So I like how they laid it out simply, like, oh, my mutant power gives me access to parts of the brain that normal people don't have.
Yeah, that like crazy, inventor, cosmic kind of thing. It's like, yeah, it's almost like a witch thing. You use your whatever part of the brain that's not easily accessed, and you have powers.
It makes me wonder if Einstein was a mutant.
Yeah. Put his picture on your wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Storm and Forge go riding. Storm decides to race the rude little man. She almost races off a cliff, though. And Forge is so, like, nonplussed with the fact that, like, Storm almost raced off a cliff. He didn't even try to stop her. He catches up to her. He's like, ho, 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 so much fun dying. The two look out over the valley. Storm notices an owl that has been circling in the same pattern. She also notices the winds don't change here. They're always to the east. And one thing I noticed right here, which is really cool, you have to kind of look for it. The mountain in the distance has the owl's face on it, which upon first watch, I didn't notice this because we don't know about the owl yet. Yeah. But upon second watch, it's very clearly there.
Interessant. But I did also love this scene, the effect of her like riding the horse, starting to feel that wind again. Forge was kind of like trying to, I love because they said something about like how he adapts. Like he's never like, he didn't fix himself, but he learned to, work with what he had. And so like this, you don't have to fix yourself. It's already there. You just got to find other ways to access that. So getting to ride that horse, feel the wind in your hair again, was a really nice, poetic, beautiful moment.
Yeah. And it's a really cool metaphor because, Storm's going through loss of powers, which none of us, unfortunately, can relate to. But we can relate to, like, the loss of a person in your life, the loss of being able to do something in your life and finding an outlet, like, writing or drawing or whatever it is that brings you back to that place to feel that same joy without being able to do the thing that you're used to or see that person you're used to.
Yeah, and I love that Forge says something here, like, he's like, you above anyone should know how the winds or the weather can change, which is something that Charles said in the first X-Men movie.
Oh, wow. See, you always notice the stuff. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Here, I'm like, I think I'm super cool because I noticed the owl face. And then you're like, oh, this is from the first movie. I'm like, fuck you, Kevin.
You know. Later, Forge takes Storm to his basements. He floods the basement. No, here he tells her that there may be a way to reverse the radiation to counter-effect the gun's radiation. We see photos on the wall of Forge's past. These photos are so many telling things. First of all, we get his sexy little cut-off jean shorts and his shirtless, which was Forge is hot in this, just saying. And every scene he's in, Forge is super hot. Even though he has his old-timey like country man voice, I don't care. Yeah. So cool. Forge shows Storm a machine he has just finished developing. It may be the key to get her powers back. Storm goes into the machine, which is also, I think, because she's claustrophobic, I feel like that would also be scary for her.
Oh, yeah. You're right. You're absolutely right. But I feel like she would brave the machine in order to get her powers back.
Because
that's the most important thing to her.
Exactly. She's so grief-stricken. But I would like to see a little bit more trepidation in that first doing.
Yeah.
So anyway, she tries. Okay, Storm goes into the machine. She tries to use her powers outside, and she's like, "Winds, heed my command," type of stuff. And it seems to be working because you see the trees kind of sway, but then she just sees its birds. Crows fly out of the tree. They were causing the movement. Storm loses hope and breaks down crying.
So sad.
Another heartbreaking moment.
So very sad. Yeah. And I do want to point out, Forge is voiced by Gil Birmingham, who is a Native American actor. He's been in a few things, so I like that they're using someone of that culture in order to bring Forge to life.
I feel like I've heard this voice before.
Also,
it's other things. But
yeah, you would recognize him. He's one of those actors where you're like, oh, I know that guy. He's been in
everything.
Things.
Yeah, I know the voice. I know I've heard it before because it's just like, yeah, here I was on the plantation farm or whatever. This is me on the farm when I was a little boy, and we had a dog named Rufus, and I don't know. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, it is funny to me that like this comic this is based on is from, I think I want to say 87. It's somewhere in the like mid 80s. So Forge was always wearing these cut-off jeans, but then you fast forward 40 years and like shorts are in again. So like it still fits. Forge can wear that.
Climb the mountain in your short shorts. Take your shirt off. Let's go, Forge. I'm all about it.
Yep. All right, let's talk about these photos. So this is a cameo because we see X Factor.
Yes.
We see a photo of Forge, Dr. Adler, and another person. This is what blows my mind here. So this is Forge with Dr. Adler, which means that this is sometime before season 1 of X-Men, because Dr. Adler was killed by Apocalypse before Mystique was posing as him in The Cure. Yeah. Now, the person the photo's covering the face of, that is like a dead ringer for Bastion, the outfit that Bastion wears, which what this means to me is Bastion going to be the overall villain for all of X-Men? Because it seems like he's been pulling the strings from behind the curtain all along.
See, crazy. But I have, I have other notes about it too. I'm thinking about it because we know that Forge developed, we talked about this in the past episode, how Forge developed the gun that took away the Storm's powers. But if he was working with Dr. Adler, he talked about how he had someone took his findings to develop that gun. And so we know that Dr. Adler was the one who developed the cure. So it could have been him, the real Dr. Adler. And Bastion was also involved with the Sentinel technology. So Forge might have had his hand in the Sentinel technology too.
Yeah, could have. Which, it would make Forge even more hated. I hope that's not the case.
Yeah. So
this has huge implications because if you're not familiar with Bastion, he is a Nimrod Sentinel mixed with Master Mold. They went through what's called the Siege Perilous, which is from the Arthurian legends, and it formed Bastion, who's like a humanoid cyborg. Or android, I guess android. So Bastion having the power of chronokinesis as one of his powers, I'm wondering if they're going to say he went back
there you go.
And has been pulling strings all along. Also, I wonder, there are 2 instances of Nimrod being in X-Men. He was in Days of Future Past, and he was in One Man's Worth. And both times he was sent spiraling back through time because they like unhinged him from the 90s. So I'm going to say right now, I think one of those Nimrods, if it's not the same, when it's whipped back into time, goes back to the past and merges with the Master Mold we've seen from the series.
Oh my goodness. See?
Yeah.
Time.
And there is a really big Bastion story that happens in like 1996, 1997, Operation Zero Tolerance. So I'm guessing that when we get to the 3 series finale, Tolerance is Extinction. That's what it's called, right?
Sure.
Tolerance is Extinction.
Oh yeah. Oh, the end.
Let me double check.
Tolerance
Yeah.
is extinction. Yeah.
I'm now under the impression they use the word tolerance for a reason because of Operation Zero Tolerance.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh my goodness! How exciting!
And we did just see Bastion in our X-Men comic episode too. So they're definitely like threading him into
planting
the stories.
The seeds.
This is insane. This
Insanity.
is insane. I'm so excited about this. Yep. All right. Later that night, Storm and Forge are hanging out at home. Forge continues to try to fix the machine. Storm asks Forge why he wants to fix her so bad. Forge reveals that he went through a hard time where he worked with the government to make ends meet. While he was there, he made some designs for anti-mutant tech. Dr. Adler and the government used his designs to make the gun that shot Storm, as well as the power-dampening collars. Storm gets mad that Forge even conceived anti-mutant work. She goes to leave, but Forge stops her and tells Storm he loves her. Storm slaps him and walks out. Damn, Storm.
Yeah, that's what you told me what happened last episode in the comics. So they're really staying true.
Yeah. I know, it's done slightly different, but it's like the spirit of the comic, which is all that I ask for.
Yeah.
That's all I ask for.
Yeah. All right. Storm rides into the night like a bat out of hell. Okay, like a bat out of hell. Okay, no. There we go.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Meatloaf. She rides her horse into the rain. 2 eyes appear in the sky, and Storm is thrown off a cliff. What? What is happening? She falls and lands back into the house with Forge, which makes no sense. I'm like, I'm so confused. So, like, it makes me wonder, if this is some kind of dreamscape, or maybe, I don't know, this trickster kind of demon thing. So, I guess.
I already know. I know.
Okay, well, thank you. The house repairs itself, and a giant owl can be heard. Hoo-hoo, hoo-hoo.
A little more sinister than that.
Anyway, yeah. The adversary enters the room and bites Forge, and there's like little I don't know what we call it. Technodrill, little bit thingies coming out of him. I don't know. It's like microchips. I don't know how to explain it.
What do you mean?
Yeah. It throws him across the room. The adversary next grabs Storm and tells her it has trapped her in order to feed off of her misery. And that's what he does. And you've got lots of misery for me to feed off of.
Yeah.
And it has Storm's voice.
And what's interesting. Yeah, that's really interesting to me.
Yeah. Which makes me wonder if, is this really happening? Is this some kind of, mind fuckery too? Is this happening? Part of me wonders if this is part of Storm in the machine trying to recover her powers, and then she's going through this breakdown in her mind. I don't know, but crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I know how it goes in the comics. I don't know how they're going to adapt it for the show. So I'm really bummed that we have to wait 2 weeks to figure out what the fuck is going on here.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to do another really quick mini Storm story in the next episode. Remember it?
Yeah.
Before we get back to the full episode of Lifedeath 2.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that brings us to the end. So, I already talked about that. Good. So, what are your thoughts and how would you rate this? Britishly bitchin' like Emma, pretty cool like Iceman, Australian Wolverine, you kind of love but kind of hate it. Fat and sweaty like Jubilee, or unspeakable like X-Men Origins Deadpool.
I would say this is probably the weakest of the episodes we've seen so far, because it is more fillery than other ones, but it's still going to be Britishly bitchin'. I mean, it's still on point. It's still doing great things. This season is just constantly good. So, yeah.
Yeah, I I would agree. I really like this episode a lot. After I kind of like shot my wad and like thought about it for a little while, I am gonna give it a pretty cool like Iceman. I love both arcs a lot in this. I think my only problem is I wish Storm and Forge were built up a little bit more. Like I wish we saw them kiss or do something romantic before Forge tells her he loves her, because that would have really strengthened that ending.
I can see
when
that.
He says that and when Storm slaps him. So yeah, I think from a casual viewer standpoint, you wouldn't really get the gravity of their relationship. Whereas if you already know they were together, you're like, oh yeah, this is Storm and Forge.
Yeah, and
so that's my only complaint.
Yeah, and I was veering towards pretty cool, like a high pretty cool, but because of the deeper meanings that I have for my X Factor, I gave it a little bit higher ranking.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Yeah,
But yeah, I also am trying to like not just completely give every single episode top
I
marks.
know. I have to be a little.
It's hard.
You have to be a little bit critical, and it is hard when the show is just so excellent right now. So, but yeah, I do think this is the weakest of what we've seen so far.
Yeah, this is definitely like a transitory episode because we get Jubilee growing up, we get Roberto using his power, so we're probably going to get more story there, and then it sets up Storm's story for probably what's going to be kind of a culmination. Cool. Well, you said the word excellent. Who is the most excellent player?
Well, I actually chose two. I chose one for each of the stories.
Okay.
Because I think that's probably more fair to do. So for Motendo, I chose Spiral because she was behind the scenes helping them out along the way, kind of going against Mojo and be like, nope, I'm giving them extra life. Nope, I'm revealing her health. So I gave it to Spiral for that one. Now, don't get mad at me. Hear me out. For Lifedeath, I am choosing Forge. Because...
What?
No, I'm choosing Forge because he didn't have to be honest with Storm. He didn't have to tell her this stuff, but he wanted to let her know the truth. He wanted, and he's trying to make amends for the mistakes of his past. He's learning from his mistakes and being the bigger person and wanting to help Storm. So I don't think he's as, maybe in his past he was making questionable choices and was doing bad things. And yeah, I mean, he was probably had hard times. And so now he's in a better place and he is trying to fix what he's done. So he's doing that journey for himself.
You know, what's funny is when you said you chose one from each, I was going to choose Forge too for that same reason. Because, yeah, it's unfortunate that life has gone this way for him. But, like, you really can't ask him to try to make up for his shady past in any better way. He's honest with Storm. He's trying to fix Storm. You know, it was bad that he made this tech, but he's trying to make up for it. In the first part, I actually gave it to Absissa. I actually took it that she was the one helping them out most of the time. And without her, they wouldn't have defeated Mojo.
Yeah, I mean, both of them were little key players in it. Absissa was like, Absissa was more directly like jumping into the things. Sparrow was just like, here you go, extra life, boom.
Yeah, making it at least a little fair.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, tell us about your X Factor and how this pushed you over the edge.
My X Factor is about the two stories between them. Both of the stories showcase a deeper meaning about re-examining your past and growing into the person you're becoming now. It happens with almost every character. Honor where you came from, but also embrace your present, because times are changing. You're growing up, you're getting older, you're learning things, and you use the knowledge you learned from both of your failures in your past as well as your successes to forge some semblance of a current happiness, So that's my X Factor.
Nice. Mine is going to be Bastion, just because I think introducing him is brilliant. I like the way they're doing it, like very X-Men style, where he's kind of like a hidden link in the chain, it seems like. I also wonder is he working directly for Mr. Sinister? Because we get that hint in the comic, like Mr. Sinister wants to work with Bastion. I also think he's a smart villain to be an overarching villain because he is a Sentinel, but he's a new and different version of a Sentinel who's like a person who can think and feel and talk. So we still have that theme of Sentinels as evil, but less inept and more sinister, if you will.
I think he was like the main antagonist in X-Men Next Dimension too. I talk about that game all the time, but I think he was. So,
he was in it. Yeah, I read that today.
Because I played the game a lot.
Really?
Yeah, I have it. I play it all the time.
Nice. I was checking Wikipedia to see if they've added Bastion into like he was an X-Men 97, but they didn't say anything about him there.
See, if you look in this cover, there's a little faint picture of him in the middle.
Oh, nice. Okay, I kind of see that.
Yeah. Bastion.
Mm-hmm.
Bastion.
Bastion.
But yeah. I love this game. I want to play it again.
Aww. All right. So for a previously on question, this is a yes or no. Would you be angry at Forge for designing anti-mutant tech?
Oh, well. I think I would be angry of what came of it. I don't know if I would be angry at him in the same way that Storm is, because I would try to be more understanding of his situation.
Okay. I would be angry like Storm, just because I know, thinking of like my LGBTQIA plus community, I'm very like protective of it. So if you translated that to somebody making something anti-gay or anti-queer, I would be furious. And I think like Storm, I'd be really mad, and then I'd have to like come down over time based on Forge's actions. But yeah, I very much see myself as Storm in this moment.
You know, as if you're doing it instinctual, like an impulsive, like, yeah, I can see how hurtful that would be, you know?
Yeah. Because, yeah, I get, like, he was going through a hard time. He did what he had to survive. He was wanting to use his power, and this was the best way for him to do it. But still, like, you're still building stuff against you.
Right.
And that's hard
You're going
to,
against
like,
the cause.
Process. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because I keep thinking about it just like, you know, maybe it's not permanent. I get thinking about, but yeah, there's a lot of ramifications and a lot of bigger picture things that come from that.
Yeah. And even today, like even in one of the comics I read recently, Wolverine and Forge are talking, and like Wolverine kind of goads Forge by saying like, you weren't able to hold on to Storm. So like Storm and Forge is still a hot button with Forge. Like she really was like his one true love. Like he wanted to be with her forever. And finding out that he built the gun that took away her powers, it really did kill it for Storm. Yeah. Like I don't think would ever get back with Forge at this point. Right. She's moved on.
Because even if she can forgive you, you broke that part of her that would be attracted to you, you know? So that makes complete sense.
Yeah, so it really does make Forge a little bit of a tragic character. Mm-hmm. All right, next up we have Remember It. So what do we think is going to happen in Remember It?
Well, let me tell you, as Genosha prepares to join the UN, select members of the team head to the island nation to be honorees. Back at the mansion, a behind-the-scenes press event risks airing the X-Men's dirty laundry.
What a good guess. I didn't come up with that.
Yeah, and that we'll look forward to next week.
So I think, like we were talking about this at the con with Align, Remember It gives me the impression that this may be like Rogue-centric, because Rogue may be unpacking some of the stuff she's absorbed or some of her memory issue stuff. I also wonder if we'll get like a little more about the Rogue Magneto relationship going on.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, where can the people find you, girl? Where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find...
Where?
Where? Tell me where. I need to know.
How come you're not telling us?
You can find me on my Instagram, KJEEZY87. I have posted lots of WonderCon pictures and cosplay pictures. I have a WonderCon highlights button. You can look at all the things. Some very fun stuff. There's a really fun video of me going, Gene, and then 5 Genes going, Scott.
That's great.
So that's cute. Yeah, so you can find me there. You can also follow the other podcast that's on hiatus a little bit right now as we work on that musical, Words of the Witches. Yeah.
Nice. And you can follow me on Shawn Porrett, ShawnPorrett. You can follow this podcast at solvingforx.xmen.task. We're excited. Comic book number 2 comes out next Wednesday, April 10th. So we're going to come up with a plan on when we'll try to get that out to you. Next episode, remember it. We're also going to have another bonus episode quite soon here. I won't say what, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Yeah, lots coming to you on Solving for X.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Dazzler.
We'll see you next.
Bye.
Bye.